Whenever we think of Cuba, the archipelago of a group of islands, two of the most familiar things come into our mind: a pink vintage car and a freshly cut, rich-scented Cuban cigar. Everyone wants to be that person who wants to smoke that cigar while driving a pink vintage car down the sleek roads of Havana. Don't worry, we got you. Hey guys, and welcome back to our channel. Today we will be going over 20 tips you shouldn't ignore while traveling to Cuba. Before moving on, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Also, hit on the bell icon for more updates. Number 1. Learn a little Spanish. Even though Cuba is close to the United States and some English-speaking nations like Tobago and Trinidad, don't expect the Cubans to speak English. Not many civilians need to speak or learn English, except the ones providing to their guests in casas, taxis, hotels, and restaurants. Besides that, talking a few phrases of Spanish and throwing around a few words like gracias, por favor, amigo, and como estas will earn you some brownie points. Number 2. Currency. This is one of the most noteworthy inclusions in the dos and don'ts in Cuba. Carrying a relevant currency is essential in Cuba. Since Cubans don't directly accept dollars or any other currency, you need to exchange it for the local currency if you want to spend. Number 3. Drink bottled water. Even though tap water will be available throughout the country, it's not advised to be drunk, possibly because of the possibility of getting stomachache and sickness due to changes in the water. Plus, the bottled water is well purified and mineralized and wouldn't give you tropical sickness. So carry enough bottles of water as you can easily get dehydrated in the tropical and dry climate of the country. Number 4. Travel insurance. This is an important point of do's and don'ts in Cuba. Travel insurance, including medical or health insurance, is compulsory when traveling to Cuba. Get your insurance issued from responsible and reliable agencies. The Cuban healthcare system is well maintained but would not let you leave the country with outstanding medical bills. So taking insurance is in your best interest. Furthermore, individuals who will be involved in dangerous activities or sports like skydiving and mountain climbing need to get extra cover on the policies. Proof of insurance is inquired for on arrival at the international airport. Number 5. Documents. Get printouts of all the important documents you may need to produce in Cuba before leaving your home country. Along with internet cafe, printing service is difficult to find in Cuba. Back up digital copies of all your files into your phone as well. The boarding pass is important and will be needed to show at the airport as your proof of travel and stay under a visa. Number 6. Touring. Private cabs will be there for you at the airport, but they will be costly and can rip you off by driving you through long routes. That is why having an offline map is a good option. Taking shared cabs is a good option for traveling alone in a cab, plus the rent for the taxi can be shared. Local city bus services also run through major cities in Cuba and connect several cities. You can board the buses from the bus station, which will be super cheap. Number 7. Don't rent a car. A lot of tourists from Western countries choose to hire a driver along with their car on a per-day fee basis. This route is more suggested than renting a car for oneself. Although renting a car is a choice, there are increased risks involved related to getting in accidents. Losing track of course and getting lost, damage incurred to the car will be reimbursed from you, and the charges will be huge. The chances of getting the car stolen or scammed are more. Number 8. Don't buy from the street. This is an important inclusion in do's and don'ts in Cuba. Although supporting street-side vendors and small businesses is a good thing to do, you shouldn't buy Cuban cigars from street vendors. They may sell you the cigars for a lower price, but they are either very bad quality or not genuine. The same thing goes for the souvenirs that you want to take back home. Number 9. Don't forget your aspirin and shampoo. There are general stores in Cuba, but the good quality shampoo and body wash that you use or the brand of medicine you prefer might not be easily available in Cuba. Instead, pack your body wash, shampoo, and other toiletries with you. Also, do not forget to pack your necessary drugs like aspirin, flu medicines, etc. Number 10. Don't take pictures of the police. It must be mentioned in every do's and don'ts in Cuba list, taking pictures of the military and the local law enforcement force is illegal, and getting caught in case you took pictures would be considered a crime and you may be accused of espionage. So it's better to mind your own business and enjoy your mojito. Number 11. Phone calls when in Cuba. Either you will have to make an international call from an international phone center, which will be expensive, or you can also rent a Cubixel SIM card, which is available at the airport on demand. A nominal rental fee per day of 4 CUC is to be paid for the SIM card along with a predefined amount for the card. Be sure to have a mobile phone that will support the SIM card. Number 12. Stay away from politics. Cuba has been a communist state since the early 50s. Leaders like Fidel Castro, Raul Castro, and Che Guevara are idols to the Cubans. Do not involve in political arguments or debates with anyone, and don't criticize the government. Some people might take it seriously and report you to the police. Number 13. Don't dine in state-run restaurants. All over the country of Cuba, most restaurants are run by state departments as it serves cheap food for the working class. Although as an outsider, it is best to avoid such places because of the lack of quality water and food, which can give you tummy pains. Instead, dine at privately owned places that provide a decent meal. Number 14. Beware of scam artists. As mentioned previously, Cuba is a developing country, therefore many people are not employed or involved in petty crimes, touting and tourist scams to make an extra buck. So it is best not to believe that pleasant stranger Hernandez, who is offering to transfer your luggage for you to the place or is offering to take a photo of you and your partner. Number 15. Lay low. Although Cuba is a safe nation like any developing nation, petty crimes are usual. The most typical victims are the tourists who roam around with their jewelry and cash and dress up too fancy. It is advised to dress casually and lightly in the hot tropical country of Cuba. It wouldn't make sense to be dressed in an expensive Armani outfit, sporting costly watches and purses. Number 16. Stay. It is a bit of top-supporting advice in dos and don'ts in Cuba. Many tourists like to stay in rented rooms with residents at their homes. Even complete apartments can be rented for a daily fee. Although hotels are seen in the major cities of Cuba, many of them are state-owned and do not provide services that are worth the amount that is to be paid for them. For a more Cuban and local experience, most people prefer to stay at a casa particular. There is a crucial thing to note. Foreigners are allowed to stay only in casas with a board outside the house or a blue sign, not the orange ones. Also, the act of couch surfing is illegal in Cuba and can land you and your host in jail. Number 17. Don't ride in random cabs. Tourist taxis are meant to be licensed and run on a metered basis. The fare is predefined in meter devices in the cabs, and therefore a nominal rate for rides is charged. If you travel in an unlicensed cab, there's a good chance that you will be charged more than the real rate, and the meter will not be used either. Number 18. Internet or Wi-Fi. This point could be seen in every dos and don'ts in Cuba list, and for a good reason. Don't expect Wi-Fi to be available at your hotel or casa. Although there will be exceptions where Wi-Fi is accessible at some hotels, the speed and the signal would be slow. The Wi-Fi speed would not be incredible, although it will be enough for essential communication with your relatives and friends. Number 19. Maps. Since Wi-Fi service or internet access is not a comfort, you are sure to get to Cuba and download offline maps for the cities you have planned to travel to, so that it will get easier for you to navigate and not get lost in the streets of Havana and Santiago. Number 20. Don't overpack. Before traveling to Cuba, make a list and only pack stuff in your bag that you will use there. Go through the essentials list repeatedly till you are sure what you need is in the bag and nothing extra. The reason is you might want to buy and shop for yourself in Cuba, and in case the weight of the bag is over the limit, it will cost you. Saying that, we have come to the end of this video. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. We will come again with other exciting tips. Until then, travel safe.